Gilmore, and joins us right now.
Yeah, I've done 5 other movies that really are good, like Thelma and Louise and Quiz Show, but for the most part, you don't get
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
This is Jake Cronenworth from San Diego Padres.
Cronenworth the third, standing with a 3-run triple.
The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan and Odyssey Sports Station. This program is sponsored and produced by Let's Talk Hookup. Opinions and offers expressed during this program are not those of Odyssey or 97.3 The Fan. Sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Cory Sanden, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Cory Sanden.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, do we have a fun show for you today. Pete's out of the studio, taking another day of kicking back and relaxing after a little procedure. Everything went great. He's feeling excellent and standing by. But you got Cory and I in the studio today. We're going to be having lots of fun with Captain Mike Pritchard of the Tribute, one of our favorite contributors here to Let's Talk Hookup, always keeping us up to date with what's on in the water. We got him for a full 2 hours today. We're going to be talking fishing, having a great time, hearing some catch reports, and taking your phone calls. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
The reels that Southern California anglers have been waiting for are here. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 40A and 50A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship 2-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. Shimano has increased the fishability of the larger Talica models by reducing rotational resistance at high drag and improving durability in critical positions within the reel. The all-new Talica 40A and 50A now boast Infinity Drive, which employs 2 drag washers housed on the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load by as much as 40%. The new Talica is built around a more compact, cold-forged machine aluminum one-piece frame. Plus, there's also a new higher high gear, built with a Southern California angler in mind. The new Talica 40 and 50A are available now at your local Shimano dealer.
This Labor Day, your San Diego County Ford dealer proudly salutes you during the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. For 5 days only, get limited time deals across many of Ford's award-winning lineup of trucks and SUVs. A lineup featuring California's #1 truck brand with Ford F-Series, the all-electric Ford Mustang Mach-E, the iconic Ford Bronco, and the versatile Ford Maverick truck. It's your chance to save, whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Find the perfect Ford for you during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Everything ends September 2nd, so don't wait. Hurry into your local San Diego County Ford dealer today.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and I think we're waiting just a minute for Mike, but
yeah,
Mike from the Tribute, right? I mean, he's a minute or two away.
Yeah, he's on his way.
Yeah.
It's always funny when somebody is as regular as Mike is. We call it the Doug Kern effect. Doug's done the show so many times. Doug knows exactly how long it's going to take to get here, then to get to Marvelous Muffins to grab a hot tea, and then come back to the studio with like seconds to spare. But Doug has got it so down to the wire that if he hits 2 red lights wrong, like he's gonna miss the show open. Mike's for sure on his way. Send us a text. Send us a text about 5 minutes ago that said it'll be there in 5 minutes. So yeah, so all good. But in the meantime, man, we're just looking forward to having a great show and having him join us this morning and talking Tribute. And man, how nice it was to get back to what summertime is supposed to be. You know, there was a little bit of unexpected weather. The wind and a little bit of sea state wasn't quite as nice as it was supposed to be to us here this weekend, but still plenty fishable. But man, just good biting fish in our local zone is what we're after, and kind of all things, right?
Yeah. Come on in, Mike. Yeah. No, you can leave the door open.
Yeah. It's just nice that like kind of all things were back on the table again. There was
tropical weather too, man.
Yeah, the weather was a little funkier than it was supposed to be, but you know, all good. But there was, you know, fish up splashing around that you could throw lures at if you were in a skiff, or you could drag around a spreader bar or a Mad Mac and get a bite, or You could be on the Tribute and get a bite, fly line, and a sardine, or catch one on a jig, or catch one on a kite, and that's what we're pumped to hear about. And we're
morning,
stoked
Mike.
to have you. What's up, Mike?
Hey, good morning, gang.
Good to have you here, buddy. We were joking that you've entered the Doug Kern effect on Let's Talk Hookup. Like, Doug's done the show so many times that he's got to the minute of how long it takes to get here, go get a hot tea, and then be here. But if he hits two red lights wrong, like, he's going to be late by a minute or two. And
yeah, no. I remember the first time I did this show, I was I think standing outside like 45 minutes before, and you're like, why are you there?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really know what to expect, but it's gotten to the point now where
this is
the
old
first
home
few
week.
minutes. But yeah, you're right. If you're going down Rosecrans and you get the crazy homeless guy that I encountered,
exactly.
or a couple of bad red lights, all of a sudden you're 5 minutes
you're
late.
missing a vibe. Yeah.
Sounds right about Midway in Rosecrans.
He was having a blast. He was dancing right in the middle of Rosecrans, and he seemed to be having a good time.
I do remember getting texts from Mike in the early days saying, I'm here. And I texted back, like, well, I'm not even in my truck yet. And I live in Lakeside, man. Like,
well, you go,
hang out.
That's it. And then you start getting a little comfortable with how this works.
Well, we're certainly stoked to have you. And we mentioned it before, Mike, part of the family here on Let's Talk Hookup. And before we say anything else, I just want to say a huge thanks. You do such a great job of keeping us in the loop of what's going on the water, on the boat. Everybody looks forward to it. We hear it during the week all the time. We hear it at all the PCS shows. Man, we sure love it when the Tribute calls in and hearing the sonar clicking in the background and all the great fishing. And it's been really fun, man. And
oh, thank you. I try.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things we get in, or you're in a bite and you don't want to call in unless you've caught something.
Sure.
But sometimes you start catching fish and you get busy and then you look and I'm like, oh man, it's not going to happen. But there's been a lot of phone calls where it's been like the last 5 minutes of the show. I'm like, well, you guys aren't going to take it. If we can get just a little bit of, fresh information coming in, it's been good though. I mean, it's been really good.
That's just a great thing for everybody. We sure like it on Let's Talk Hookup. The audience loves it. It's keeping everybody up to date. It's letting people know when they get to go fishing with you. It's just one of those things great for everybody, and we're stoked. And the only person that's not stoked with your reports, and he mentioned it yesterday, was Marcos from Seaforth, because he says you seem to have an uncanny timing of just sliding in right before Marcos' report happens and just delivering all the great news, and he's so excited to talk about, the Tribute had a bunch of big ones and it's biting everywhere. And like, while he's on hold, he just hears Mike fired up telling us about all the fish they caught. Then he goes, all right, well, you heard all that.
I've heard that before, but not intentionally. And
yeah.
I'm one of, I don't know, a dozen other boats that out of our landing that do a great job.
Yeah, no doubt, buddy.
He's always pushing everybody, and I don't mean to take the fire from him.
No, it's all in fun. Now, speaking of great fishing and taking the fire, how's the Tribute been doing? Sounds like there's been some good fishing to be had.
It has. There's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but on average, it's been phenomenal bluefin fishing. There's been a little bit of yellowtail to be had. We've had some one-day charters where we've either ended up at the Coronados or the other day at San Clemente Island. And we had a few 40-pound yellowtail to go with some other island fish. But it's crazy how spoiled people have gotten with our fishing. And you look at some of our overnight trips where we've had some decent small or tuna grade or local grade fish, like 20 to 25 pounds, and you start getting these comments like, oh man, I can't believe you guys are keeping that. And it's like, it's an overnight trip, and if you haven't seen anything previous of the last 7 years, that's our local tuna fishing. You get a lot of 20, 25, 30 fish over 40 pounds were unheard of north of Guadalupe.
I agree with you. I mean, this fleet was built on 15 to 20 pound fish.
And a lot of these guys that have become big tuna anglers lately, I don't keep anything under 100 pounds. I'm like, okay, well, where have you been? I mean, I can't, I don't want to see bluefin fishing go away at all. But the days of, pulling up on a kelp and 15 to 20 pound yellowfin just absolutely eating everything in the corner, like, it's awesome. And for you're doing a overnight or day and a half trip or something like that, and that's literally what this fleet was based on and built around. And now you get these guys that are coming out and they're, well, I don't want anything under 100 pounds. I said, well, actually, I don't want anything over 100 pounds. So little bit different.
And obviously we have the beauty of having you in here, but it seems like everything is swimming in the bite right now. I mean, 5-pounders to 205 pounders. And I'm sure there's like, I'm sure that it's a great problem to have, but it's still something that you've got to kind of make a decision on based on the group you got and what they want to do. And do you want to go west and fly a kite? And, and you know, let's be real. If you're going to dedicate it to that, not everybody's going to catch one. You're going to celebrate this fantastic thing. And if you get a handful, it's flash bulbs and you get all these cool pictures for Instagram of these, 150 to 200 pounders, but that's not how it works. And, you've got little guys, you got other people chirping, you got, I want to catch them in the day. I want to catch them in the night. Like there's all of those things are available for you right now. It's not a easy decision to make.
Well, and it's interesting because you get some of the novice, the rent rod groups. They come out and like we had Morongo Indian Reservation, a local overnight trip a couple weeks ago, and we had good bluefin fishing on 20-pound fish, and there's some yellowtail to go with it. And they had an absolute blast. And you should.
Right.
I mean, for an overnight blast.
Yeah.
It's the people trying to convince them that they shouldn't be having fun. Oh, you don't want, and it's like it's like going bird hunting or something and knocking out your first limit. And you guys going, you don't have any white wings in there. And you're like, what? You don't know.
Exactly.
You don't know. And you're having a good time, and that's all that matters.
Flipping a bait on 25-pound that rips off, and you get to set the hook, and a fish is on the other, and they're like, that's awesome.
It'll never get old.
Yeah, ever.
Dropping a jig down at night and getting bit is great. Dropping a jig down at night and not getting bit sucks. But yeah, I mean, fly line and a bait in the corner, it's the same thing. You start seeing this this like rolling into the anchovy thing. There's no bait, there's only anchovies, and it'll happen again someday where we're fly lining anchovies for 20-pound or 15-pound yellowfin, and it's fun.
Yeah, right.
It's not such a bad thing, right?
No.
So how has the bait thing been? It's obviously talked about all the time. It's on everybody's mind. I think we all say the same thing. Like there is no question about how hard those guys are grinding. Those guys being the Everingham Brothers Bait Company, all boats running, all, they're on 24-hour days. I think there's no doubt on that. But from the captain's seat, what's kind of the latest? How's things been? What are you guys seeing?
It's been tough. I mean, we've never not had bait. I know that has been a thing for some guys are having to wait for the bait boat to get in. Trying to spread out 150 scoops of bait for a 3-day trip is the nighttime bluefin fishing has made that work.
You're right. Because your consumption's not as high.
You're not, you're catching 80% of your fish at night and you're not using any bait. So it's been great. It's been a little bit up and down, but I mean, the guys are trying and you get out there and it's, it's just tough when you have a boat with 30 guys on it and you're like, okay, here's what you're limited to. And you're like, well, that's the same thing that the 6-pack boat got. It just takes that much more to stretch it out. But,
sure.
It's been tough.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been some trips where you get out there and you're like, man, this is going to be a hard one.
Yeah.
There's been a little bit of squid. There's been some squid at Cortez and at San Clemente Island, which has helped us out a lot. But, it's the guys are working their butts off and trying to make the best of it. It's just like fishing.
No doubt.
Literally, it is just like fishing. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not.
Now, what's a savvy guy that's riding the Tribute do to prepare himself? Is that you're ready for small bait, you're ready for big bait. You just got to come knowing that it seems like they're working their butts off, but it's what happened yesterday doesn't necessarily dictate what's going to happen tomorrow.
Literally just like our business. It completely different every day. And I mean, we might be on a roll where we get all the greatest sardines for the next several months, or it might be anchovies, but they go out and they're catching what they can, and it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. But what I tell people is bring anything from 20-pound on up to 100-pound. Yeah. We have, I think, like 205 rod holders on the boat. We have rod holders up top. If you're going to come out, 20-pound might be a little bit on the light side, but you never know.
Sure.
20-pound, you've both seen it plenty of times where the guy fishing 20-pound on a number 4 hook is the one getting bit. So that's it. From number 4 on up to like a 2-aught is something that I'd bring. 20-pound to 100-pound, fluoro up to 200-pound for your leaders, or even 300-pound, and everything in between.
It's kind of the beauty of the Tribute is you do have the space to bring it all. Everybody can kind of bring everything. That boat is big and comfortable, and you guys do such a fantastic job with it that you can bring it. And if you're worried about bringing 1 or 2 extra sticks and you don't want to be that guy, you said it best, put them up top.
Put them up top. Not a problem. And we have spots up by our staterooms where we can turn the rod holders a little bit, and you can fit a 9-foot rod under the house with no problem. So
that's awesome.
Definitely a bonus.
We joke about it all of the time in the off season. You like, to a fault, have a problem with boat work, where even when the boat doesn't need something, you decide to do this massive project anyways. What were some of the things that you've knocked out over the last this last little bit, and that you're proud of, and maybe somebody hasn't rowed the boat yet this season, but anxious to get on? What are some of the things that we have that are new to the Tribute?
One of the things that we did last year was something that, as far as complying with our new Coast Guard regulations, and we removed 6 of our bunks in the middle. And we put in a new emergency escape hatch, new ladder, but it opens up the front of the bunk room. It's completely different.
Really? Okay.
The bunk room used to sleep 36. You'd have one aisle going down, 18 bunks on one side, one aisle on the port side, starboard side. And once you got down there, the only way back is to kind of butt up against everybody else on the way out. And these boats were designed for smaller people, back in the day. So like you figure that the aisle weighs 32 inches wide, so you have 12 other guys going up the side. Now that's opened up, so you can walk around. It's got a big, like, kind of a horseshoe setup.
Cool.
And it's changed it entirely. We had somebody on the boat about a week ago that's rode the boat for years, and they're like, man, I never would have thought taking out 6 bunks would change a bunk room like that.
No
And it's
cool.
it's a lot more airy.
Yeah.
It gets the circulation going, the AC works better. And you get down there, and it's just you can put on your boots. You don't have to like lean up against the bunk. There's I think half a dozen shelves up there, actually 9 different shelves where you can put your boots, jacket, whatever.
Oh, nice.
And nobody wants to lose 6 bunks. Thankfully, we had the ability to lose it and not change our load much. So we dropped it. We used to do 32 for a limited load, and now we do 30. And we utilize our staterooms. We didn't used to do that. But now you have the option of calling in earlier and requesting the stateroom. So we have 2 3-man staterooms up in the bow, big bunks. They're really good for families.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how cool.
It's one of those things. If you have a bad back or bad knees and you have problems going up and down the stairs, and we get a lot of family groups on that didn't know. And we usually book one of the staterooms and we leave one of them available for stuff like that. But we'll get somebody that's on the boat with their wife and daughter, and they've never been on a boat before. And, you don't want to be down in a bunk room with a bunch of guys if you're already intimidated about it. So we give them one of the staterooms, or you could call ahead and book one of the staterooms.
What a great option.
I love that.
It's just, you get people coming out, they're like, man, it made it so much more comfortable. We were trying to get my daughter on the boat. She was intimidated by it. And this, gave her a chance to kind of get away a little bit and have her own bunk and, somewhere to go if she wanted to. And it's worked out really good.
The other thing that I love about the Tribute that you just don't all the time see as a main open party run is, and we've already gotten a bunch of texts about, is you guys tend to run an elevated food program for a boat that's in the same situation.
Our food's good.
It is. Your food is like what you would expect on like the upgraded meal package on a charter with only 10 guys on it, but you do that for an open party trip all the time. Like
we do. And our food prices, I think, are reasonable. Like our for a day and a half trip, it's $75. For a reverse, it's $85. That covers your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, hors d'oeuvres.
That's crazy.
On the reverse trip, there's an extra lunch involved. And that covers all your bottled water and your coffee for the day. So it's it's funny because people, oh man, $85. I'm like, you're going to eat for 2 days, all your coffee. I'm like, go to Starbucks 4 or 5 times and go to Carl's Jr. twice and see how much it is. Like, and it's whether it's tri-tip or New York's or anything along the line, our dinners are phenomenal. They're $35 dinners, hands down, no problem.
Yeah, every time
anywhere you go,
you do such a good job of putting pictures on social media, and it's restaurant food, it's steaks and all those. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and it's constant. Like Chef Daniel, a lot of times, a morning snack might be something easy like parfait or something along those lines, and you have lunch, and then like he might do a homemade queso dip or something for hors d'oeuvres, and then shortly after that you have dinner, and then that comes with the salad, dessert, and it's just like it's nonstop. I spend a lot of time on long range boats, that, and we try to keep it as close to that where people get off the boat and they're like, dude,
Yeah.
We didn't catch much, but that food.
And
Like
for
you
75
can't control fishing, but we can control the food.
But for $75, man, are you kidding me?
I think it's a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know,
No doubt. I think it's awesome. And one thing we were talking about now, it's, you've gone ahead of that, especially with your Pizza Port sponsored trips. And you have a thing we're going to hear from Brant from Charlie's Landing a little bit later in the show, but they have put together a really cool package that they're doing with charter masters of guys when you're if you're on a charter group trip and you don't have an option like the Tribute does of having food on your departure evening. They've got a setup where you can call in ahead of time. Hey, I've got my construction company's taking, 10 customers and 10 employees. I got 20 guys. We're going fishing. They'll completely box up a full dinner for 20 people in the trays. You slide in, pick it up, boom, food's taken care of.
It's a great idea. And I remember he brought that idea up to me before they had really started. And I was thinking I'm not one to back down from competition, but we offer food as soon as you get down to the boat. And the
Tribute's a little bit different story than every rig out there too.
Well, it's just it's a bummer. You get guys that come down, and we try to do whether it's it's an evening departure. We always try to have something available, but getting on a boat and you walk into the galley and the cook's not there and the boat's on its way out and you're hungry and you're like, wow, this kind of wasn't what I had planned on. I guess, give me an IPA, something to fill me up. But we try to make sure that there's always food available.
Well, like I said, you guys run a different program than everybody. And that's why the boat has the following and the family that it does and the success that you guys have been because you do. You've done such a good job at taking care of all those little levels, and it's just going to be a fun day talking Tribute, talking fun, and already a crazy one. The folks are already packed up, Corey. I think we're going to have our work cut out for us today.
No, we're definitely going to have a great time, and you want to join us, talk some of the good fishing happening, maybe what's coming up for
food, bait. We
right?
got this.
But what we consider too is like the locals type of summer, right? Dude, the month of September, it's usually our.
I don't know. I literally just had this conversation with Ian, my captain, running the boat right now. I'm like, I'm not sure if summer started.
Exactly right.
I don't know.
Well, if you were in Lakeside yesterday, you would know.
You would know.
That it absolutely is. I'm just kidding.
Alpine. Yeah. So I think the ocean doesn't know summer started yet.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No, the humidity, yes, and the heat.
But we do have a full show ahead of us. I want to talk some of the good times on the Tribute with Mike Pritchard. Please join us, 833-288-0973. We have Jeff waiting at the fan there. For your call, again, 833-288-0973, or you can send us a text via the app, and it's the only way to do it. And you can send us a message. It says right there when you download the app, it says text the show.
That's it.
And when you do so, make sure you do leave your name and telephone number, because at the end of the show, we're giving away a trip.
Tomorrow's trip sold out, but you could be on Tuesday night's trip.
Really?
I think there's still a few spots available, but there is going to be a trip given away, and that could be you.
How about that? So a day and a half?
Yep.
That's where we're going with it. A day and a half trip on the Tribute. Thank you, Mike, for that. Very kind. Of course. And we're going to be right back. More with Mike Pritchard from the Tribute when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
When you're pursuing big game fish, the right gear is essential. Not just the rod, reel, and line, but the right pair of binoculars too. So upgrade your gear to the best pair of Fujinon stabilized binoculars from Baker Marine. Baker Marine has been selling binoculars for decades, and more importantly, they service all brands right there at their San Diego Shelter Island location. Need the best? Fujinon Stabiscopes are the professional's choice. Looking for top-tier stabilization at a great price? The Fujinon Technostabi TSX 1440s deliver rock-steady vision, even in rough waters, perfect for serious anglers. Baker Marine is the largest Fujinon retailer on the West Coast, and when you buy from them, they'll be there when your binoculars need service. Plus, they'll give you a great price on all in-stock Fujinon binoculars. Stop by their store on Shelter Island in San Diego and test a pair of Fujinon binoculars and see which ones are right for you. They even have compact and lightweight Fujinon stabilized binoculars for your next vacation or hunting trip. You know you need a pair of stabilized binoculars, so get them from the experts at Baker Marine. Learn more at bakermarine.com.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage, to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at royalstarsportfishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. Fishdope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Fishdope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. Fishdope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. Fishdope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have Fishdope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new Fishdope.com membership. Check it out today. Fishdope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and stoked to have Mike Pritchard from the Tribute in studio today, and just talking good times. And
we were talking during the break.
Yeah.
I was surprised that we were able to peel Mike away from the opening day of bird hunting season tomorrow. Like, I was surprised that we were able to wedge him in here, and he said, "Oh, the boat coming in and everything." Like, we got lucky. We were able to peeling him off the water or out of the field is not necessarily easy. Like, one of those two things is usually happening. So
for I don't know, probably a couple of decades, I wouldn't have been here right now.
Yeah, I know that.
and I still love bird hunting, and I will be out shortly after. But I don't know, something about, we were just talking about the craziness of the first. Like, it's neat, and the first few times you do it, it's like walking down to the landing on a Friday night, where in the middle of summer, where you're just like, wow, this is a big deal. Like, everybody's out there. But now it's gotten to the point where I wait a couple of days, and I have some pretty friendly spots that I can go to and still get whatever I need. But it, I for a while there, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be in a hotel somewhere in El Centro or Yuma or
same. Our last few shoots were always, we'd get there the day before and like, oh, well, we got a really good spot where we can shoot afternoon Eurasians, and we'd go there and it'd be such lights out shooting. It's like, well, we've already got more than I can deal with. Like, let's just bail home. We'll get home before it gets hot. You shoot the day before the opener because you're just shooting Eurasians.
Well, and then that's it. I mean, you get to a point, and then after you clean them and eat them, you're like, man, there's just a bigger dove.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
slower.
And they are. They're almost too slow. Sometimes you miss them.
But you know what I love about September 1st and dove season is the majority of dove hunters are fishermen, right?
Yeah.
So they all go east. Cory's going west.
Well, that's it. And we changed tomorrow's trip. It was originally we're getting in from it's a Pelagic sponsored 2.5 day that the boat's on right now. We've been doing it for I think 12 years. I've had the boat for 13. I think that this is the 12th annual. It fills up instantly. I think it sold out. The one year it sold out in like 30 minutes. This year it sold out in a day. Almost all the same guys. And a really good group of guys. And that's the thing, is it started coming down and I'm like, okay, I love this trip and I love bird hunting. So it got to a point where, I mean, I've been thankful to have some really savvy skippers, and including Ian, who's on the boat right now.
Geez.
And get to the point where the guys are like, you going to be here for the 2.5 day? I'm like, it comes in on the first, right? I don't, it's not that I don't want to be there, but it's I know that they're well taken care of, and yeah, I'm sure I'll be out there in the next couple of days.
No doubt about it. Well, the phones are packed up. Everybody's super excited to talk to Captain Mike. Corey, let's jump into those phones.
And they are full, man. Let's go to Mike. Mike calling from Torrance. Good morning, Mike.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, boys. Mike, I saw some people got off your boat the other day. I got off the Polaris Supreme with a 125 kite fish, my first kite fish ever. But
nice.
I saw some happy customers in the parking lot cutting off the tails, trying to get them into the coolers.
That's always a favorite.
On the kite the other day. My buddy Larry came and helped me cut all my fish, and he just dropped off a bag of smoked fish this morning, and holy cow, I can't even bring it in the house. It's so strong. It's such a good product, and it's just nice to have people help you out when you come back with your fish. And I think I'm going to do up a batch of can today. Can some of that bluefin, because when you got a lot, you got a lot.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. And hopefully you're able to can it inside because it's hot.
Or not.
Yeah. Well, it depends if you ever want to go back in there.
Well, congratulations, Mike. That's awesome. I'm glad you had a good trip and that kite fishing. And how fun has that been too for you, Mike? Is you've done so much, you spent your time working on, then running the XL. And I mean, you've seen so much of that in your career, but did you ever think that, when you were doing that and you started, overnight and one day fishing, that kite rotations would be part of your everyday routine? It's something that you expect to do at Clarion, but you don't expect to do it, 40 miles from where you tie the boat up.
It's still neater when you're at Clarion or Hurricane Bank and you have a live flying fish. There's just, maybe it was the time that we did it, but watching that, and we still, if we get live flyers, we put them out for bluefin, but for whatever reason, watching the yellowfin try to eat it just seemed to be that much more exciting. We talked about this years ago when we first started doing it. I told you, guys like Bill Pohl, Ray Sobiak, guys that I worked for in the past, if you ever told me you were going to drag around a rubber flying fish for one fish.
Oh, I think Ray would have beat you over the head.
He would have said, the industry is going to fall apart. It's done. We're over. It'll never happen. But, you start looking at, overnight boats that have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gear on them and 50 wides and all. We have 2 different electric kite reels. Just the batteries and the setups and everything else. And I get down to the boat and when Ian comes in and there's 2 or 3 kites still laying in the wheelhouse, and I'm like, what a weird, just a weird era. It's
what a cool era.
It is. It's I would prefer to catch them 30 at a time. Kite fishing is neat, and when you get the trophies, you get them on heavy gear, and you still don't land all of them. Like we talked about this a few years ago, where you get that 200-pound fish straight up and down, and you're fishing, your lightest connection's 150-pound, and it's just beating the crud out of you. And you're like, this is unreal to be doing this, and you're 70 miles from home or 80 miles from home. Like it is, and that's like we were talking about earlier. I think a lot of these guys have just gotten to the point where they assume that we're, day or day and a half trip, you're going to go out and catch a 100-pounder, which is completely possible. 200-pounder, I haven't seen a 300-pounder in a little bit, but it's same thing. It's going to be interesting when we get back to that kelp patty fishing, where everything's you get your wide open yellowfin, your Dorado, stuff like that, and guys are going to be going, well, what do I do with my heavy setup? Well, catch a yellowfin on it, I guess.
Yeah. Somebody's out there listening and they're going on a trip on the Tribute later on this year, and they've never done that before. They've never, like Mike said, first kite fish ever got. What do we need to do as a passenger? Do you provide that gear? Do we bring it? How does it all work?
Kite gear, we have all the kite gear on the boat. If kite fishing is something we're going to be doing, we have several 50 wides. We have a ton of heavy gear. From that standpoint, it's something we're going to take care of on your end. The landing is a good way. Can take care of everything else. I had somebody text a couple of days ago and said he was coming out on a trip and wanted to know what to do. And I said, show up with your boots, your clothes, and a jacket, and the landing can get you dialed in with everything else. There's 2-speed options. Everything's taken care of, when you get in, and everything's in good working shape when you get ready to leave on a boat. You can buy all your tackle there. Literally all you have to do is show up and, want to go fishing.
That's so cool.
So, and then you get other guys, a good friend of mine, Josh Rimbold at Turner's. Go in there on some of their sale days, and I'm sure I pay a different price than a lot of people do, but like some of their tungsten jigs and stuff are absolute steals compared to what you might get them, the night of a trip. So it's worth looking out at. And And I really, the tungsten jigs have kind of changed things. It's neat that we could be this far into, our industry, and every now and then something comes out, whether it's an Eddy bomb that's been around for decades, but unknowingly.
Yeah.
But some of these tungsten jigs, you're dropping this little 5-inch jig that weighs, 20 ounces, and it's just it's unreal.
It's the size of a Colt sniper, but it weighs it weighs more than what your big full size knife jig would.
It sinks great. They get bit. I mean, it's they
get the hooks.
It's
really
same
good.
thing. It's a game changer, and it's interesting with all the technology in our industry. Something comes out and you're like, where was that before?
Yeah, how did that not come around 10 years ago?
Yeah. Totally. Well, let's jump back into those phones, Cory.
Let's do that. How about Alex? Alex is calling from San Carlos. Good morning, Alex.
What's up, Alex?
Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, good morning, guys. And first off, $85 for a meal plan is wild. I mean, I probably go through that in like soda, chips, and cookies like in one day.
It's not hard. Yeah, it's a day where Carl's Jr. is $25 a person. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask. We kind of had a little bit of a tropical weather and stuff like that. Do you think that's going to push any, Dorado or anything like that this way? I mean, I would love to get on a bluefin trip, but man, there's something about just catching Dorado on kelp that's just so fun.
I agree with you 100% on that one. Yeah, I think it's and somebody did a study. I know Ryan from the San Diego had shared a post not too long ago, and somebody had done a study about the water trends this year, and they said summer was like 6 weeks behind, which it really seems like it is. I think the last few years, October has been phenomenal. Usually August by now you're seeing your yellowfin, your Dorado, and everything else. It seems to have gotten later and later over the last several years. Our best Dorado fishing a few years ago was in the middle of October. It was just ridiculous. And last year, I think it was probably October where we saw that bigger yellowfin up to like 130 pounds. So I think it's just it just hasn't really started yet.
Yeah.
I mean, the bluefin fishing has become a year-round thing, which is awesome. It's great for all of us. But I would imagine we've seen a little bit. We've seen a few Dorado here, a few yellowfin there, but it doesn't seem to be a trend with tropical weather. I know that's always been a thought as hurricanes push the fish up. People have apparently proven that's not the case. It does seem to happen, but the neat thing with Dorado and kelp fish is it could happen tomorrow.
Sure.
We have a spotter plane that goes out, and they might not see anything for several hundred miles. They don't see any sign of fish. And then tomorrow, every kelp is loaded with Dorado, which where they come from, I don't know, but we'll take it. And I agree with you. I look forward to seeing that hopefully soon.
I want that thing that you mentioned before to happen so bad. I want that big yellowfin that our long range boats are catching on the ridge. I want that in the worst way to make its way up to here and give us that opportunity of, that good biting fish up in our zone.
Well, and it was funny because everybody goes for that bluefin yellowfin connection, which fights better. Then all of a sudden everybody used to say it was bluefin, but now that bluefin are around, those 100-pound yellowfin started biting last year. Guys are like, oh my god, they're just way meaner. And I'm like, they're both mean.
That's that is for sure the thing too, is you could say anything you want, and there for sure is going to be a particular fish that's particularly pissed off that does not make life easy on you whatsoever. You can say for sure that a yellowfin fights harder, which it does. But you get a bluefin that gets to the boat and it's straight up and down, and it won't circle, and it changes direction, and it shakes its head, and it rips line, and how do you quantify one? And you can say all you want to, oh, they don't pull as hard, and then you get one that the entire crew works on and passes back and forth and just can't seem to finish it off. There's angry fish out there.
Yeah, it's neat. And we've talked about it before. Like, it always seemed like yellowfin had the upper hand on that one. But a lot of the tackle we're using for bluefin now wasn't really, at least when I worked, I was on the Excel in the late 90s, early 2000s, and we still had 80% mono for whatever reason.
Right. And a Newell 442.
Yeah, right. Which we changed out guys' top shots every night, and we had backup rods, and we had backup rods and skiffs and all that. But a lot of the stuff now, you just have these bigger, better reels with a ton of spectra on them, and they're both mean. But if you want to just go that way, I mean, you throw like Skipjack and Bonita into the category, and hands down, they win.
Yeah, if a skipjack got to be 100 pounds, we'd never catch him.
That'd be brutal.
That's for sure.
And that thing on the deck would be terrifying.
well, Cory, we're joined by a real great friend here, and we're going to look forward to that. When we come back, we got a whole lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including checking in with Brant from Charlie's Landing. Going to be a lot of fun this morning.
We'll be right back. As Rick said, Brant, is it Brant?
Brant. Yeah.
Brant from Charlie's Landing. Look forward to that when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Have you been looking for a live bait hook that keeps live bait alive? Look no further than Japan's leading fish hook, Gamakatsu. It's the little things that make the difference, and Gamakatsu hooks drive the point home. With an absolute perfect bend and ideal barbs, your bait swims harder and longer. And when you get bit, Gamakatsu hooks bite back with a vengeance. All hooks are not the same. Go with Gamakatsu for infinite success. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Check gamakatsu.com.
For local or long-range fishing, we have you covered. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Being a part of the San Diego Sport Fishing Landing gives us a distinct advantage when it comes to getting you on the latest and hottest tackle for your trip. Our expert staff knows exactly what you need for your long-range or local trip, and we will not sell you something you don't need. We carry a huge inventory of the right tackle. So visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hardworking crew will make your fishing experience one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. All our open party trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hi, this is Captain Ray Lopez, owner-operator of the American Angler. I've spent more than half my life aboard the American Angler along with my partners Brian and Lori, developing a team that's as good as it gets. I've been fortunate to spend time on the ocean with so many fine people that I look forward to fishing with. We can't thank you enough for being part of the American Angler family, and if you haven't joined us, we love the opportunity to meet you. Text or call Lori at 619-223-5414 or check AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWarmerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-7772 for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
All right,
you want to mess up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And so stoked, man, in studio with Mike Pritchard and just having a good time.
Yeah, and joined by Brant from Charlie's Landing. Brant, we're so stoked to have you here. Good morning.
Good morning, Brant.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, we're pumped to have you. And turn your microphone up because when I was testing, I always get teased by Pete and Jeff that my voice is too loud. So let me adjust you back up there. We've been talking about a little bit lately. So stoked to have you at Charlie's Landing, and what an awesome spot. You know, the restaurants that have been associated with that landing have been so good and so much fun, and there's been so much nostalgia. I think for me, like, I grew up going to C4 sport fishing. You know, that's where I grew up with my dad and fishing twilights on the new Seaforth and Doug Reed and Bob Williams and all those guys. Like, that's my childhood is there. And I always remember the tradition of going in with dad and you know, getting a burger before a trip. And you've really taken that legacy on because you're a fisherman first, you know, like, it's just so cool to see you in position and have that place and treat it the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah, you know, I'm 100% just like you. I grew up fishing out of Seaforth in the early 80s, late 70s and stuff, and would always stop off there and, you know, grab something to eat before getting on the boat or afterwards. And it's just come full circle, and it's great. Just kind of landed in our lap, and, you know, really that whole landing just has such, like you said, nostalgia for me, and that's why we ended up bringing the old name back with the landing and named it after my daughter Charlie, and just trying to service a fisherman and have some good food and beer, and it's got a great view. The natural setting there is just amazing.
An awesome view. The patio, you could hang out on you don't have to eat inside. You could sit out on the patio and enjoy the views of the docks and the walkway going by there.
And growing up at Seaforth and obviously now working at Fisherman's, like there is an electric feel when it comes to being down at the landing on a big day. The tributes coming back in, guys are going fishing where even if it's not your trip, like if you're a fisherman, that's why I think you made such a great call. Like there is just a feeling that exists on a landing on a summertime night when the fish are biting it's palpable. It's just a cool place to be, even if you're not going on the boat to go down there and grab dinner and a cold beer. Like it's a spot that you want to be if you're a fisherman.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much action, especially when multiple boats come back at the same time and they're unloading, and just seeing all the big fish come off. I mean, we're in just this crazy cycle.
Yeah,
that's just so much fun. And I mean, I used to have to go 10, 12 days to get the kind of action we got in our backyard, and it's just so cool.
Now where did your background come from? Like what lent you to doing what you're doing now at the landing? Like how did you, because I've known you as a fisherman and involved in fishing industry and all those things for years, but how did the restaurant side merge into it, and what brought you to where you're at right now?
I mean, it was about 15 years ago, got into the restaurant biz, started with a place up in Ventura called Social Tap, and after we made our mistakes, kind of learning the ropes up there, we opened one down in San Diego, down by the ballpark. We opened one up in Scottsdale. And then, honestly, I was talking with Ryan Booger on the San Diego, when this place came vacant, and he's like, hey, come take a look at it and let us know what you do.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, this is what I do, and I wanted nothing to do with it. I'm like, here's some advice, but I don't want anything to do with it.
Blueprint for somebody on how to do it right.
Exactly. The more I talked with, him and the Amatis and stuff, and they're like, well, why don't you do it? I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Like we said earlier, it's a nice change from what it was before. It's definitely a step in the right direction, and the fried shrimp tacos are awesome.
Well, now you're really speaking my language, and
right?
We have been talking on the show a little bit on what a great gig. What a great idea you put together for guys doing charter groups. And, we joke with Mike. Mike runs a very elevated food program, but, every boat and everything is different. And there's a lot of times when you're going on a charter trip in the evening where food might not be available. Guys are coming in late. They're getting off of work because they're doing a Friday night departure, and you're worried about having enough time to get a burrito and get parked and get everything else. You can take care of all that. If you're a charter master and you just want to set something up ahead of time, they can call you. You can provide for the whole group. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. If they don't, get there early and want to eat on the patio and have a beer there, we can have, kind of family style meals ready to be on the boat, for, 10, 20 guys, whatever it is. And
I love that.
Just call ahead and we'll make sure that happens.
And now, and again, whether you're the charter master wanting to do that for your whole group of your employees, your buds or whatever, or if you're just coming down and you're going fishing and you're worried about not having time to get a crummy California burrito somewhere, you can call ahead of time and same deal, have it to go order, ready to rock.
Yeah, and right now, you show us that you got a reservation on the boat that day, you get $1 beer and with your meal. So
how crazy is that?
I love that, dude. That's so smart. I love it. That's so cool.
That's why they walk on the boat like that.
It's only the first beer
that's a great deal.
Yeah, and that first one down at the landing when you're going fishing just goes down just right. Man. That's very cool. Well, that's a great idea. The other thing that I'm really looking forward to, and I 100% intend to take advantage of, being that I keep my boat in Mission Bay. In the mornings, you can do the same thing. You can call in a breakfast burrito, and there is no restaurant closer to the Mission Bay bait receiver. You can go in, load your bait, slide on in, tie the boat up, run up, grab your burrito and a to go and out the way again.
Yeah, 100%. Just stay out of the way of the charter guys and bump the dock, run up, and we'll have it ready for you.
I just think that's such a smart call and such a great move, and we're really pumped and excited for you, and I know it's just such a welcome change to everything that's going on down there at Seaforth. It's just it's awesome, a great move, and we're pumped. What's been the now that you've been in there and running for a while, what is emerging as the favorite of everybody that you guys do there?
I mean, definitely the smash burger is probably number one for sure, and then our fish and chips. and then followed closely by the shrimp and fish tacos.
Yeah,
Our breakfast burritos too.
Yeah, I brought you guys a couple breakfast burritos and breakfast sandwiches.
Hey, all right, awesome. Well, Jeff has sent me 2 messages down the line. Jeff, who's takes care of us on 97.3 The Fan, make sure that we're on the air, takes care of everything. The first thing he said when he said that was, "I love Social Tap." So you got some fans back there on the fan taking care of us. Well, we're certainly pumped and excited. Brant, you mind hanging out with us for a little bit while we're okay? Awesome. Yeah, we'd love to, and we're certainly excited. I'm already excited for the next break to happen, so we can dive into that breakfast burrito. But in the meantime, having a great time here. If you want to join us this morning, been a very busy morning on the phones. Give us a call 833-288-0973, or as we always say, send us a text on that Let's Talk Hookup app. I had a fun text I wanted to read from Mike. Says, I've got a setup that I fished last year, 15 feet of 100-pound fluoro. I only dropped a jig a handful of times on my last trip in June. Since then, I rinsed it with fresh water, kept out of the sun, kept in the garage, all the things you're supposed to. I'm going fishing on the Tribute next week. Do I need to retie that fluoro? Should I put on a new piece of Top Shot? Since I didn't catch a fish with it, is it all good? Just want to make sure I'm prepared. What do you think on that one? That's from Anthony in Seal Beach.
Well, it's probably good. There's as long as there's no abrasion. The only thing I'd worry about is that it's probably got some memory to it, and it's only 15 feet. It's an easy fix. I'd change it out. Just you might pull that off and find out that it looks like a slinky. I mean, depending on the fluoro does pretty good, but some of the old mono, you go, okay, look, it looks great, and you start dropping it out, or you start dropping your jig, and it coils up on the reel and the rod tip and everything else. So, for a few bucks, I would just change it out, or bring it down to the boat. We'll change it out for you. We usually have complimentary fluoro and Top Shots available. So not a bad idea to just switch it out.
How cool is that, man? Complimentary?
We have some pretty good sponsors, and we've had Soft Steel, which kind of got taken over by Akuma. But when guys come out on the boat, we don't charge for Top Shots.
I think that's awesome.
Dude, that's getting it done right there for sure.
All right. Well, hey, with that said, we're going to find out what's biting out there. We got the man, Brian Woolley, standing by this morning.
And it's brought to us by Norsk Lithium, the ultimate choice for marine adventures. Norsk delivers unmatched starting, trolling, and electronics power. Norsk batteries are packed with cutting-edge technology, and you can upgrade your marine power today. Set up your system with Norsk Lithium. Go to norsklithium.com or see the trolley motor doctor. And totally stoked to have Woolley from Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Good morning, Woolley.
What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. What's happening? How are you?
All good this morning.
Good morning.
Good, man. Hey, Brant's got a good thing going down there, man. I was at the landing the other day, and I should have stopped in, but I was in a time crunch.
Let me know when you're down here.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm for sure stopping there next time.
We can tell you this: the world headquarters smells.
Yeah. Brant came bearing gifts this morning,
and my hunger pains are striking as we speak.
Yeah, good. Well worth the visit for sure. Well, hey, for us up here, a pretty solid week of this local action. Water temps again, like 71 to 73, perfect for our bass program. And with that, we had some good movement in the water as well. That swell moved some water around. We had some current and whatnot. Half the anglers saw some really good sand bass action over the hard bottom. That stretch from like Capistrano Beach down to San Mateo Point, the mixed hard bottom, some of those artificials in there was biting pretty well for our guys. Rubber lures and reverse dropper loops were perfect for that scenario with that sand bass that's kind of filled in on that hard bottom. And then along with that bass, there continued to be some of that halibut. It's kind of been the sleeper fish on the sand bass deal for us. The guys soaking those live baits on the bottom have had some decent fish. And, it's not big fish, but it's good. It's like 10 to 15 pound stuff. So it's plenty good size. Of course, there's some smaller, barely legal fish in the mix. But the ones that we saw this week were that better 10 to 15 pound stuff. The calico bass fishing through that little stretch has been okay. Obviously, there's some calicos mixing with that sand bass. But certainly it's been current dependent in that kelp. Our 3/4 day guys kind of stretched it out down the beach through Camp Pendleton, Las Pulgas sector, yellowtail kelp, barn kelp. We have nice anchovy for live bait. So that fly line fishing has been really fun for that bass. The rubber lures getting bit just fine. The hard baits like the Lucky Crass and the SP minnows been really good for the guys to make the longer casts out along the edge of some of that kelp. Those things have been super effective this last week. And then we had some bonito in the mix as well. Those things biting the live baits and the small little metal jigs. small fish, 2-pound stuff, but catch a couple of those at the end of the day, and you're good to go for sure. And then our twilight trip, same good mixed bass fishing. It's been fun. Standout twilight fish this week was 25-pound sea bass. Young angler caught that on the Real Fun night before last, fishing up off Salt Creek. So that was kind of a cool deal for that kid. He was stoked. And then the Fury, he's had some really good fishing at Clemente and some of the offshore banks. He had a good hit on the yellows on a 2-day this week with 51 fish. That was a nice solid spread. That fish went from like 18 to 30 pounds. And then along with that, with some of that big bonito you guys are talking about, some of that fish going 15 plus pounds. So some real drag pullers for sure there. So it sounds super fun. And then the calico bass fishing at Clemente has been good too, with that same small anchovy, small sardine mix. Great fly line bait there. Those guys, again, surface iron, hard baits, no problem getting bites. And then the guys that wanted to sink out a bait or a piece of squid or something are catching plenty of whitefish and sheephead, bag filler type stuff on those trips. And then finally, just kind of wrap the bluefin, still trying to keep it relevant. Our counts, Christian on the Lexi's working extra hard to keep that fish in his counts. It's been a grind for him, but he had a few that bigger 100 plus fish this week on the Flyers. But again, it's been a grind, and the run's getting a little long and whatnot, but still trying to keep it relevant for his passengers as well. So solid week for us. We're looking forward to another good week with some good weather and this bait. We're got some real nice anchovy sardines, so we're stoked to see how that plays out. So if you guys want to hop on a trip, give Lanning a call here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web too at danawharf.com.
Awesome report. Glad to hear bait situation treating you right. Fishing's doing the same. Great report as always, buddy. We'll certainly look forward to hear another one next week. I know we got good weather in front of us, so good weather, good bait, and summertime conditions at Dana Wharf, man. You can sign me up for that, Willie.
Roger. Thanks for that, and enjoy your burritos, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.
Awesome. You're the best, Willie. Appreciate it very much. We'll talk to you then.
Is that what we're smelling, Brant? Burritos?
Yeah. We got some burritos, some breakfast sandwiches, breakfast tacos. So got your pick.
I'll say, what's the breakfast menu like at Charlie's? But we're rolling out. Neil and I are taking the easy access out on a center console day where we know we're going to get beat up and want to have a little breakfast run. What's the breakfast menu like at Charlie's?
I mean, it's just pretty much that kind of gave you the the three hits right there. But definitely the breakfast burritos I think hold the best.
That's
if you're gonna wait an hour or two before you eat them, and they'll be good. And then we of course got the avocado toast for the people that with fried egg on top of it, and that's always a good one.
Perfect. You know what you need to bring back? I have to say this. When Donna had the landing, the Rock Hard Rick breakfast burrito.
The height of my celebrity status.
Yeah, bring it on. Hey, we're going to be right back. You've been listening to us on 97.3 The Fan, and we're going to come back on 97.3 The Fan, YouTube, Facebook Live. We're going to be right back, and let's talk Hookup more with Mike Pritchard from the Tribune.
Do you know why 1 million customers visited Summit Gasoline last year at the San Diego Sports Arena? Because they give you the lowest price on fuel. Great service and easy access, even for trucks and trailers at their 24 pumps. Summit is known for the best price on ice, too. Almost half the cost of any other vendor. 25 pounds for just $3.99. Martha and her crew love fishermen, and they'll prove it by giving you 100 pounds free with a 35-gallon fill-up. Summit offers over 40 snacks and drinks to choose from for only 89 cents. And even a line of hand creams and lip balms for 89 cents, too. Summit now proudly offers locally made burritos and sandwiches. Made fresh daily and ready to go wherever the current takes you. Summit just upgraded their car wash. And for a limited time, get a deluxe car wash for only $6. Grab the wife's car, grab a cheap sandwich, and make up for the day on the water. Summit Gasoline. Lowest prices, friendliest staff, easy access, and free ice. What more can you ask for?
Don't let the summer pass you by with powerful deals on new Yamaha outboards during Yamaha's Cruise into Summer sales event. From now until September 3rd, 2025, purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of warranty protection. Looking for a lower horsepower? Yamaha's got you covered. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $300 in dealer credit. Yamaha. Reliability starts here. Offer ends September 3rd, 2025. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. 24-month Yamaha extended service added to 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty for select motors. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Haida Gwaii Safaris, formerly Queen Charlotte Safaris, invites you to experience the magic of Haida Gwaii Islands, British Columbia, Canada. Hi, I'm Valerie Hoprich. 25 years ago, I fell in love with these incredible islands, the breathtaking scenery, the warm community, and the truly phenomenal fishing. That passion inspired me to open my own fishing lodge, just steps from the Sandspit Harbor at Haida Gwaii Safaris. You will be fishing in pristine, unpressured waters for Chinook, king salmon, halibut, lingcod, and much more. Plus, be surrounded by untouched beauty. We pride ourselves on creating an unforgettable adventure that turns first-time guests into lifetime friends. You will come for the fishing, and you will come back for the memories. We are booking now. Call us at 1-877-815-2892 or visit our website, qcsafaris.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. Haida Gwaii Safaris, where adventure and friendship meet.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
This is Joe Musgrove. And Musgrove's 101st pitch of the night is swung on and missed.
The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan and Odyssey Sports Station. This program is sponsored and produced by Let's Talk Hookup. Opinions and offers expressed during this program are not those of Odyssey or 97.3 The Fan. Sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano rods and reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Cory Sanden.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live at 97.3 The Fan. Having a great time in here this morning. Talking fishing. Captain Mike Pritchard to the tribute. Branch joining us this morning from Charlie's Landing. We're just having a great time. Talking fishing, having fun, and talking to you. And boy, after hearing a great report with Wooly, certainly looking forward. We got Gundy Gunderson standing by with our surf report. It's just a great day, busy morning, Cory, and man, busy action on the phones and the text.
Absolutely, man. It's that time of the year. Fishing's good. Things are happening. Breakfast burritos are waiting for us, man. It's like nothing but good times. You want to join us, 833-288-0973, or you can send us a text via the app. And I know with the app, it's a super cool thing. You go back in the archives. If you missed yesterday's show with Pete Grossbeck, man, that was
cool, wasn't it?
Crazy cool show. You can go back and listen to it. And Rick, I don't know how, other than having the newsletter, like I signed up for the newsletter, so I get the Let's Talk Hookup newsletter. Dallas Maxa wrote the coolest story. It was a great read on Cat in My Lodge.
That's nice of you to say.
So
yeah.
how do we get that if we don't get the newsletter?
It's on the newsletter.
Got to get the newsletter.
Yeah, sign up for it. It's on the website, and easy to do. But yeah, that was cool. We had a fantastic trip to Katmai. It was one of those lifetime spots for sure. It's what they all say. It's a bucket list trip, and then once you go, it's like, all right, well, that can't be the kick the bucket list trip. I got to figure out how to come back up here again. The fishing was spectacular and the wildlife, and that's really nice of you to say. She'll be really proud to hear that you say that. I thought the same. I thought she did a great job. It was
She
cool.
put a lot into it, and it showed. And it's a great read. And if you sign up for the newsletter, you also get so many people ask about the trips of the year, like what trips Let's Talk Hookup has signed up for, and how they can sign up. The whole list is on there.
Yeah, totally.
So when you do sign up for the newsletter, you get that, and there's no junk involved. It doesn't go anywhere else. It's just Let's Talk Hookup news.
That's it, man.
Yeah, it's nothing but good times. But we do have Gundy Gunderson. We've got the surf report. The man, surf guru Gundy Gunderson. Good morning.
What up, Gundy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great. Hey, good morning.
Yeah, lots of action going on everywhere.
We'll take it, man. Summertime's in full swing. It's hot out east. Go on to the beach and go catch some corvinas.
Yeah, that's the story. Solid corvina fishing. And, something that's interesting is like the best fishing is actually, I would say from, Ventura Oxnard all the way down South Bay, Bolsa Chica, Huntington. The San Diego guys, it's been tough for those guys, and it's all about the conditions, and you guys know how it's been. It's like you get a little temperature drop, then you get some wind, and then you get a little swell, and then there's junk in the water, so it's, they had that derby down there off Pacific Coast, and that 5-pounder is probably going to win it. I think today's the last day, but they've only checked in 5 fish, which is remarkable, considering how much talent's down there. The guy said it's just that you're almost dealing with a daily change in conditions. So this is what I say, is that once we shift into a fall mode and we start seeing some hints of winter and stuff, I think there's going to be more consistent conditions, and I think that's when those fish are going to snap. It might be a short period of time, maybe a 4-week period, but if you're ready, you're on them, and that's what you got to do when you're a Corvina fisherman, man. It's very challenging. The best Corvina fishing was in that South Bay area. Very good fishing there. Hermosa, Manhattan, that stretch, Torrance Beach, El Segundo, all through there. They posted several fish over 4 pounds, so that looks like that's the meat of the bite. We'll start up at Santa Barbara and slide through this real quick. Up there, they had, like I said, the best Corvina fishing was Oxnard, Ventura area, and then they also had a very good white sea bass bite off the Goleta Pier. I mean, these guys, they were just schooled up thick, 16 to 24, 25-inch fish, so not legal fish, but biting anything in the water. Good perch fishing up there, smaller halibut, but there are halibut catches, and then very good leopard shark fishing, and that was up and down the coast. The leopard sharks really made a strong showing. Some of the smaller fish in the surf zone, but also some of those nice 3-4 foot leopard sharks in the mix, the big hens. So Jess Fishing, like I said, reported Hermosa, El Segundo, Manhattan, very good on the Corvina, sand crabs, fresh mussels, a few stripers there off El Segundo, a few halibut in the mix, a few croakers there. Big Fish reported the best fishing was off Bolsa Chica, Huntington Pier. That's been pretty consistent through there. Off of Newport, the guys are fishing river jetties, the street jetties, things like that. Oceanside, like I said, reported lots of fish, little consistency problems. They had an interesting bite on the pier, a wide open sargo bite. It's not really the time of year, but hey, really nice fish, 2 to 3 pound fish, a few pushing the 4 pound mark. And another observation from one of the guys fishing the pier, and I heard Wooly talking about getting the sand bass on the hard bottom and starting to see those sand bass come back. There was some spawns in the mud going on up north there off of South Bay beaches, and then off of Huntington Flats and stuff. So these guys were seeing schools of little sand bass, like 3-4 inch fish, running around the pier chasing smelt and things like that. That's pretty unique, and that might be a sign that fishery is on its way back. That sure looks good to me.
Well, we'll certainly take that, man. I mean, I think that that Corvina thing you had been talking about it and keeping us tabbed week to week. It was slow to start, but boy, this is the time of year, and not only the time of year when that fish is around, but it's the best time to go down to the beach and fish for them. And Gunny, is it a time of day thing? Is it a tide thing? Like if that's somebody's goal, you talk about it all the time, the easy access to surf fishing, the going down after work. Like, is it just go when you can, or is there a better time that we should be doing if we were really trying to target that?
Well, a couple things. I was talking with the guys yesterday, and they were theorizing maybe, there's so much sand crabs right now too, so the fish are gorged a little bit. When you're seeing that many fish and struggling, it's not that they're not there. They're seeing the fish, and that's the frustration. It's tough to put a hook in them. What I would do, is you want to fish different times of the tide and see if you can dial that in. Or you switch from the sand crab to bloodworms or maybe ghost shrimps, something like that. Throw something different. Or even mussel. Mussel can be a really good Corvina bait. If you're near the pier pilings or something, you get some of those better mussels, and you also get better sand crabs. One of my buddies got a real nice fish off Doheny this week, and he went to the San Clemente Pier and made big chunky sand crabs and then brought them to Doheny. So there's little things you can do to try to to try to make it a little bit better. But like I said, when we get into this fall and we get these kind of flat days and the weather, you look for that bite to really go, because they'll feed before they go in the wintertime, and there's going to be a window where they're going to bite.
Such an awesome report, Gundy.
Best, dude.
Always on top of it, and just, dude, you're so you have all the info, man, from Santa Barbara to San Diego.
It's not, I love chatting with these guys in the tackle shops, and I've said it here before, but supporting your local tackle shops, and those guys got a beat on the bite, and those guys fish themselves, so we sit there and talk it up, like all fishermen do, and that's where we get the good information.
Well, appreciate your report every single week, Gundy, and it's something I look forward to, and all the reports we get here are good, but yours, man, I look forward to it every single week. And thank you. Look forward to talking to you again next week, Gundy.
I appreciate those kind comments, man.
Yes, sir.
Have a good week, you guys. Great show.
Gundy.
Thank you.
And if you're listening to this and you want to get some more good info and a place to get good stuff, it's Bill Varney's surffishtackle.com. Check surffishtackle.com, and he's got all of your surffish needs there as well.
Phones are packed. Everybody's excited to talk to the boys. Let's jump back into it, Cory.
Let's do that. How about Tom? Tom Calm from University City.
What's up, Tom?
Hey, good morning. Well, I just wanted to say for the record, if I go on the Tribute and we go fishing for kelps and we get 15 to 20 pound yellowfin, I will not complain.
Thank you.
In fact, I just love those days because, you're just driving along. Usually it's sunny and, go from kelp to kelp, and some of them have a fish and some of them don't. And some of them are loaded. And it's just such a good way to spend an afternoon that I really look forward to doing that again.
Well, it's pulling up on a kelp like that, especially late summer, fall. It's just the possibilities are endless. Whether it's empty like you said, or there's yellowfin and dorado on it. I mean, it's been years, but we've seen good big eye fishing on them. Big, it's just where you get up to it, and it's just a straight aquarium. There's nothing like it, especially if you're bringing somebody out for their first time or first couple of times. You get a kid out there, and you're looking down in the water, and there's dorado swimming around, yellowfin, yellowtail. I mean, it's just, you can sit there and watch that all day, whether you catch them or not. It is the neatest thing to watch ever, and if that doesn't get you hooked, then I don't think anything will. And it's you with the binoculars we get from Baker, like we've talked about, whether it's the Fujinons or their own binoculars, some of these kelps we're seeing from 4 miles. So for 25 minutes, you're rolling up on this thing, and just you're going through all possibilities. And if it's that time of year where fishing is really good, and you start telling the guys that, hey, look, don't start with anything lighter than 40 pound, and you start pulling up, and you're a mile away from it, you start watching dorado jump on it. It's such a neat experience. And it's big bluefin fishing is great, but there's something about just rolling up there, your skin starts to crawl a little bit, and you're like, oh man, here we go. And you got a bunch of guys back there chomping at the bit, and they're watching the dorado jump, and it's a great experience. It's something that I look forward to seeing every time.
How much has that changed the game for you driving a boat, now versus 20 years ago, when you can see a kelp literally at 4 miles? You can see fish jumping on it from a mile away. Like,
oh, no problem. My mile's nothing.
The distance that, and I'm sure everybody, like I would pride myself on how good I could see out of my Baker 750s. I pick those things up now. I can't see anything out of them. This is not a thing.
It's a complete game changer. I think when I first started using them on the XL, we talked about this years ago, but I think I had a bird school at like 13 miles. Pat Cavanaugh was running the boat, and he goes, if you see another bird school at 13 miles, don't tell me.
Keep your mouth shut.
It took so long to get there. And if the birds are moving, away at 5 knots, you're on a boat that's doing 10 or 11 knots. It takes forever.
13 miles.
13 miles is by the time we got up to it. You're looking at frigates and, different birds. And I was up in the mast, but you see just this little grainy thing on the horizon. I'm like, it's a bird school.
And a frigate could be a quarter mile up in the air or whatever.
Yeah. Right? There's such big birds though. I mean, as you get closer, you realize there's boobies and everything else mixed in with them. But it's, I remember it was Scott Mizell. He goes, I am not spending $5,000 on binoculars. And this is when, the original Stabbies came out. And I was like, I don't know. And I got a set of Frasers. And it was like, I just, he goes, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to buy them. It's not worth it. It doesn't pencil out. And I drove around him and he goes, where are you going? I'm like, there's a bird school 2 miles outside you. He goes, what? and then all of a sudden you look at it, and like we were talking about with Anthony, I don't even, I have $40,000 worth of binoculars now. So that's something ridiculous.
But how lucky are we to have Baker Marine right here in our backyard?
And those, like we talked about, that deer that I shot a couple weeks ago, that those new binoculars that they make, from their one-hand operation, they're light there, but yeah, you can see things that 20 years ago would have been unheard of. You can basically see into the future.
What they're doing now with those is like they're getting to the point where you're eliminating a spotting scope. You know, I mean, you have a 14 power you can hold in your hands and still pick a hillside apart, but then you can just put it back into your pouch and keep walking away again.
My buddy that I was hunting with, Brady Daniels, he gets his tripod out and his spotting scope. He goes, hey, come here, take a look at this buck. And I go, and I look at it and I hand him my binoculars and he goes, oh,
yeah.
I guess you don't need a spotting scope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Brant, I know you'd spent a lot of time fishing big boats, and you think that's the other thing about those binoculars is when, Port of Art, I know you spent a lot of time doing that. When you're picking off big targets too, it's just amazing the distance that you can see, like, the distance away that you can see a spinner dolphin or a porpoise jumping on the horizon. Like it's into a different time zone.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, I know what we know now. I mean, that's probably the most important piece of fish finding equipment on the boat. I mean,
certainly if you're on a boat that is not at the level of having a sonar, it's the best fish finding tool that there is. It is whatever level a guy can do it at. Whether it be a pair of techno stabies or a pair of stroboscope, whatever level you can is realistic in your budget. It is a must have. It's not a maybe think about it. It's a tool you got to have.
100%. I mean, when you're driving around your buddies to go.
Boat schools on the other side of it. That's it. When you're sneaking past, 3 or 4 boats because you're seeing things that they can't.
Yeah.
Just, hey, you guys stay there for a minute.
Yeah, what are you doing? I'm just gonna go. I just got a feeling I'm gonna go check out Westy a couple miles.
Well, and it's like fishing Guadalupe Island. You could literally look up one side of the island to the other side and make your choice. And you're not just maybe driving to where the fish are, but you can avoid areas that are completely lack of life.
Totally.
You're looking 5 miles up the island. You're like, I don't see a bird. I don't see anything. And you look down the other way and you see some birds on the horizon. It's a game changer because if nothing else, it keeps you from going the wrong direction.
Totally. That's a good call. Well, hey, the phones are packed up. Let's jump right back in, Cory.
Let's do that. How about Jim? Jim calling from National City. Good morning, Jim.
Hey, Jim. Looks like we might have
Jim go?
Lost Jim. So how about we grab another?
How about John? John calling from Dallas. Good morning, John.
Morning, guys. I get excited when I listen to your show, but my question to Mike is, what's the difference between a day and a half trip to a day and 3/4 day trip?
I don't know if anybody actually does a day and 3/4 anymore. What we did, and we were going to call it a day and 3/4 at first. It's a reverse day and a half. Instead of typical leaving at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night and coming back, like if you leave on a Friday night, you're coming back Sunday morning. These trips are literally the same, or actually maybe a little bit less time. But you're leaving at 11 o'clock in the morning. You're traveling out. You might get some fishing time that afternoon. You're fishing all night, fishing the next morning, and then coming back in. It's just it seems like a much longer trip because of how much fishing time you get in, but it's really the same. Guys were doing a day and 3/4 for a while, and just leaving earlier in the day, and that's how they justified it. One neat thing about the reverse trips is you're fishing 12 hours, 2 calendar days,
Right.
so you got to keep 2 days worth of limits. And
that's huge.
There's a lot of controversy. You guys are going, that's not, you can't do that. There's other boat owners going, it's illegal. And I go into Fish and Game and I buy our 2-day declaration. And it says, if you have 12 hours of calendar fishing on each day, which is easy to do after midnight.
Right.
And the first day you're leaving at 11 o'clock in the morning. And on a lot of these trips, you're fishing from 9 o'clock at night till daylight. And sometimes after that, I mean, there's a ton of fishing, and you're fishing on the way out, whether you can find a kelp and some yellowtail or something. And it's completely changed. And we've had a lot of trips where we had, 4 fish per person in literally a 30-hour time span. So it's bang for the buck. It's something, and that's kind of what guys would have originally called a 1 3/4 day. But We just call them a reverse day and a half. For whatever reason, people wouldn't book 1 3/4 days.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't sound right or something.
You nailed it. I mean, that's it. You have to leave before noon on the departure day, and you have to return afternoon, on another day, and it's got to be 12 hours. You said it best. That's exactly what the law is. You got to have a declaration that says you were out for 2 days. All of it's easy to do, but that's what has to be done.
Fish and Game looks at the paperwork. They look at your departure time, your return time. They stamp it. They okay it. Like I said, there are some other boat owners that argued it, and they're like, you can't do that. And I was like, you can. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a loophole, but it's not. It's literally, it's what's written is, you leave before noon, you fish till midnight. There's your first day, and then you got midnight till noon, and you're fishing, coming back well after that. Most of these trips return at like 5 p.m. So there's like I said, just a ridiculous. And if most people don't sleep on these trips. Guys get on the boat, they're excited.
Yeah.
I always tell them, you need to sleep on the way out. This is your one little chance, or you might get a nap on the way in. And you go down there, and it's like, you pulling up to the area, it's just about dark, and I'm like, God, none of you guys slept. Not one of you. And most of them have been drinking, which is awesome. You guys are out to have a good time. And said, about 3 o'clock in the morning, you start looking at some of these guys. I'm like, we're used to it. Unfortunately, nobody should be used to a lack of sleep, but you start looking at some of these guys at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're falling asleep at the rail.
You need to go down to that boat, get yourself a bomber burrito from Charlie's Landing, wash back a cold one for $1, and then pass right out like that's the move. Get as much sleep as you can before it happens.
That's what I'd say. Knock down a couple of beers and just force yourself to take a 3-hour nap,
and then dividends on the backside.
Some of these longer trips, we're done a couple of 3 days back to back, and I go, you guys are going to have to sleep at one point or another.
Yeah, it's going to happen at some point.
We had a good night of fishing, but we want to see what daylight brings, and I'm like, you're going to have to sleep sooner or later.
It's going to catch you at some point. Brant, how does departure times affect you? I mean, you guys have done such a great job with Social Tap, but set hours. You don't have fishermen coming at all days and times. Like, how do you guys handle? What are the hours availability with fishermen wanting to be early and boats leaving, and you providing food for guys that are going on charter trips? How do you guys handle that with a different set of customers than what you're used to with your other successful locations with Social Tap?
We work closely with Seaforth and understand kind of when boats are coming back in and leaving and stuff, and try to, make sure we're staffed appropriately for kind of the expectations that we have. But it's always a crapshoot, to be honest. Like, we just got to be prepared for anything. And, and then when the whale watch boats go in and out, sometimes, we get 2 people from a boat of 100. Sometimes we get 50. And you just never know.
Yeah,
so totally. You just kind of play it by ear and roll with it.
Holiday weekend, you might be, you prepare for a bunch and you get a whole bunch more than you thought, or vice versa. I mean, it's just the beauty of having success in the industry that you're clearly in makes that difference, I'm sure.
Yeah, now that we've been open for a little over a year and stuff too, we get a lot of the marina traffic, the private boaters, and a lot of the tourists, and we're getting a pretty good local following too that have nothing to do with the boats. Just kind of figured us out, and like the food and the location.
Make good food and have a good atmosphere. People find you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Ever since you kind of changed the front, and all it is those the planters. It kind of encloses that area a little bit and blocks some of the wind. But it is, it's a neat little place to go up. And you see people sitting there for hours, having a couple of beers or whatever. Definitely see a lot of people on dates. You can tell, you're like, but if you get a chance to sit down there and watch the boats come in and out, the birds, probably and I'm sure you would know better, but one of the few beachfront restaurants where I've never seen seagulls be an issue. There's been seagulls over at Point Loma Seafood here that were
generational.
Where they would straight up take your sandwich out of your hand, and like there was warnings. It happened to me years ago, and I vowed to get that seagull. It never happened, but I was getting ready to eat a tuna sandwich, and at mid bite, that thing took it out of my mouth and hand. I was like, and I haven't seen that there for whatever reason. The birds seem to be relatively friendly,
a little more subdued,
comparatively speaking.
Yeah, no, 100%. We haven't had that problem, and it was funny. I was at Point Loma Seafood last week and had a seagull kind of dive on my head over there and getting my clam sandwich. But we've been lucky over there. Cool. It's also super kid friendly over there too, because we're right on that little walkway, and the kids crawl around on the rocks.
Watch the Garibaldis.
Watch Garibaldi and look for crabs, and it's
Yeah, nice
Very
little grass
family-friendly,
area,
yeah.
dog friendly.
Dog friendly,
Yeah.
family friendly. It's pretty cool.
Such the perfect spot to go for a stroll too, and like you start or finish there. You know, it's just it's a good spot, man. I love it.
And there's so many listeners from Orange County, LA area that, dude, they want to come down a couple hours early. They want to get the parking spot, and hang out, and it's dude,
So many of our fishermen get their hours
right
early, so that's a great bet. And we haven't brought it up, and it goes both ways. It's the free parking though. You're probably not going to find a whole lot of restaurants in San Diego where you can park for free.
Waterfront for free.
No doubt.
Waterfront for free, yes.
Yeah, that's a good and bad thing. I mean, when the fishermen are there, sometimes it does get tough to park.
I almost didn't want to say it.
Yeah, no, it is what it is, you know, and sometimes you got to just fight for a spot there. But once you get settled in, it's worth it.
And there's plenty of street parking too. It's a 100-yard walk. It's super easy.
Yep.
All right. Hey, we've got, is it Youssef?
Uh-huh.
We've got Youssef on hold, man, the Angler's Realtor, and it's brought to us by the Fish Pros of Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. It's where you get your premier processing experience. You can check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. And with more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity and the finest customer service. Stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street, or you can check them out at fishermansprocessing.com and make your reservations today. And one thing I wanted to bring up, I had a couple, Tom and Val, that went out on an 8-day. And I brought it up to him because Tim Ekstrom had mentioned it on here before. And they had like 3/4 of their fish frozen at Fisherman's Processing because Tim said, like in 15 minutes, a piece of fish will be frozen. So it's so much cleaner to do it that way than it is to try to put 200 pounds of stuff in your freezer at home, and it takes 2 days for it to freeze.
Well, and the middle of it is, frozen
It's
3
just
days
not-
later.
yeah, exactly.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of an overlooked thing.
15 minutes is rad.
Right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, if you're in a giant walk-in with big giant fans blowing cold air and
Yes.
everything is on its own bread rack and it's not stacked on top of each other, you're right. You take a bunch of fresh because in your mind, like, I want to get everything fresh. Well, you eat 2 or 3 meals, and then the other 200 pounds just get stacked on top of each other like little Lego blocks in your chest freezer.
Still trying to freeze 2 days later.
Totally. Yeah.
So it's something that's overlooked. Have Fisherman's Processing. If you know you're not going to divvy out half of it, then freeze half
Yeah.
of it.
Hey, take this one fish, keep it fresh. We're going to eat this over the next couple of days, share it with some friends. The rest of it, freeze that thing on up, and it'll be rock solid when you put it in your freezer. Better product all the way around.
It is 100%.
That's a good call.
And you don't think about it, especially having a chest freezer. You bring home 100 pounds of fillets and you stack them all in a chest freezer, and you're like, we give away a lot of fish, and we go through obviously a lot. But if you have an upright freezer somewhere you can layer it, but you see guys do that, and that center is going to be frozen in like 3 days.
Totally. Exactly. Yeah.
So
That's
it's going
why
to be one big block.
Utilize the service that Fisherman's Processing offers, and it's one of those things that's overlooked.
Yeah, well, we got the man. Yosef's on the line with our fishdope.com report. What's up, Yosef?
Not too much, guys. How we doing today?
We're doing great, buddy. Having a good time, talking some fishing, talking a little eating at Charlie's Landing.
Dude,
We're having fun, man.
Breakfast burritos are waiting. I'm like, I don't think I can hold back anymore. I'm going to have to pull one out right now.
My blood type is burrito. So fishing's still good. It's slowed down a little bit up north. Santa Rosa, the halibut fishing has been on fire though. Beecher's Bay and the Flats area, of course, on squid. Santa Cruz, the calico bass fishing has really picked up. Besides that though, the only game in town is rockfish. San Nicolas, there's a decent shot still to 20 or 30 pound sea bass. One thing to look out for is there's a lot of black sea bass in the area that are also in the mix, and you may hook 1 or 2. Santa Monica Bay, calico bass fishing and bonita are biting really well out at Rocky Point with the occasional yellowtail. PV is the one spot this weekend if you want to get away from Catalina Island crowds and still catch a yellowtail. The yellowtail fishing is really good. Bass fishing is great as well. The water is very warm up there, 75 to 76. Catalina, it's full speed jet skiers right now, if you were interested. The front side still has the 3 Bs that are biting really well. Backside is yellowtail and sea bass still. You have to use super light line on these things right now. They're super line shy, 12-pound test, number 4 hooks. San Clemente Pyramid Cove was a zoo last night. 50 to 60 boats, full speed as well there. There was some yellowtail caught. Yellowtail fishing over there for some reason is just nighttime fishing. As soon as the sun comes up, it's kind of over. There's a ton of squid in there as well. Big tunas. The Snail 7-Eleven area is still biting really well. There are really weird schools of 5 to 10 pounders and other schools with 150s to 250s. So very mixed bag. We're out, I think it was Tuesday. We got a 175 and a 5-pounder. So very strange.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Coronados, the bluefin popped up for a day, kind of disappeared again. They've been mischievous, kind of popping up here and there. Yellowtail dried up quite a bit from what it was last week. It's just, it's the islands, man. It's really good one day, the next day it's off. Tuna yesterday popped up between the 371 and the 425. They foamed for a little while. Wasn't crazy or anything. Around 4 p.m. some guys did get them. There was nothing on the surface prior to that. That was the only real big pop-ups we heard of. Old Glory got a yellowfin yesterday, which is good news.
That's a great sign.
Talked to Danny a little bit about what's coming. He says there's kind of a big chlorophyll block down with some dirty water just above San Quintin that's going to hold everything down here for a little while still. So who knows? Maybe we'll have a really late season.
Boy, we can handle that, man. Like
yellowfin and Dorado.
Yeah, if that stuff can come whenever it wants, as long as it hangs in, we have a nice get this thing rolling here in the later summer, early fall, roll it all the way through until December. We can handle that. There's been more than a couple times that Mike has talked about having Thanksgiving tuna and then Christmas tuna. So we'll we could go for a little bit of that action this year, Joseph.
Our yellowfin fishing for several years was the best was December.
That's so wild.
We a couple years ago when we hauled out, we had limits like 5 days in a row in December, right? Like it's unreal. I think December is now our October, or what October used to be. It has definitely changed.
It has. Yep.
Well, Joseph, how about you? How's things changing in that real estate world? I know it's been a busy time, and a lot of hard work and a lot of things on the horizon. How's things going in your world?
It's really starting to pick up. Getting lots of calls on listings now. Buyers that were sitting on the couch and not wanting to buy because the interest rates are starting to buy again. The mortgage company I work with took more applications last week than they have in history.
Really?
So people are going to start buying here again. It's coming.
That's awesome.
I've seen the pickup already, and I think over the next few months here, we hopefully get some bumps in interest rates and really gets our real estate market going again.
That's awesome. Well, glad to hear it. Great job as always. If you want to save $30 off of a new membership to fishdope.com, you can do it by using the code HOOKUP now. It's all lowercase, no space, saves you $30. And somebody wants to keep in touch with you, find out an eval on their house, find out what's going on in the real estate game, maybe get some of that killer beef. How do we find you and all the things you're involved with, Joseph?
You can get me on my cell phone, 619-277-2169. You can get a free home evaluation at SoCalHomeEval.com. You can also search for homes at Sportsman'sRealty.com. As far as the beef goes, just go to Nature Fed Beef. We have beef in stock if you'd like a quarter, a half, or a whole cow. And we deliver it right to your door as long as you're in Southern California.
There it is. Great job as always, Joseph. Appreciate it very much. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thanks, buddy. Great report, man. That's a lot of fish biting up and down the beach
Awesome
right now.
report.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Dude, that breakfast burrito over there is looking better.
Corey's never been more stoked to go to break the entire show. We've been doing it.
There it is. I'm going to take a bite. We're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. More from Charlie's Landing with Brant and Mike from the Tribute when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about my fishing buddy Dan Hume and his amazing company, Hume Termite. As you know, Southern California is infested with termites. It's a constant battle for anyone who owns a home, and that's where Hume Termite come in. They're strictly termite experts. They start with a thorough inspection to find out why you have termites in the first place, then recommend sustainable treatment options that work. Hume Termite has been controlling my termites for years, and I have recommended them to numerous friends. Did you know 99% of termite companies are commission-based? Not Hume Termite. They're all salaried employees, and with a thorough inspection, they'll help you solve your termite problems, not sell you something you don't need. Let Dan and his crew earn your business through customer service and trust. It's swarming season, and now is the time to call Hume Termite at 760-598-2201. They'll come out and give you honest answers to solve your termite issues. Check HumeTermite.com.
A top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limit, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
One rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. Check out the new CalStar models now available, as well as upgrades to the classic rods that you know and love. If you want your tackle to be state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar at fine tackle dealers.
Captain Jamie Tennis from Seasoned Sport Fishing here. For the past few seasons, a dart-styled metal jig has come into play in a big way for tuna offshore or even rockfish down deep. AFCO's crossbreed jig has quickly become the go-to for many since it came onto the market. AFCO's crossbreed jig is good to go right out of the package with a 4X treble hook, heavy-duty split rings, West Coast colors, and sizes 60 gram to 120 gram. Pick one up today at your local tackle store or learn more on AFCO.com.
This Labor Day, your San Diego County Ford dealer proudly salutes you during the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. For 5 days only, get limited time deals across many of Ford's award-winning lineup of trucks and SUVs. A lineup featuring California's #1 truck brand with Ford F-Series, the all-electric Ford Mustang Mach-E, the iconic Ford Bronco, and the versatile Ford Maverick truck. It's your chance to save, whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Find the perfect Ford for you during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Everything ends September 2nd, so don't wait. Hurry into your local San Diego County Ford dealer today.
How you gonna do bringing the show back on that one?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
How good is this, dude?
Dude, welcome back, man. Welcome back to Let's Talk It. Hey, this chorizo breakfast burrito. You got to remember, I'm married to a Mexican woman. This tomatillo green salsa verde, is a home run.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
The burrito's awesome. Could I honestly finish this?
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
so.
a bomber, dude. That's a real one. I went breakfast sando. It is killer. It is killer. And again, you want to talk about easy boat food too, like whether you're at the restaurant or just going fishing. Like, right, it was really cool. Buddy.
Dude, I'm going to spend a day out fishing and come back and have food, man. Kick back.
And give us that quick rundown. You were saying like when you were making them, like it was how you were doing. You just didn't go the normal route. You were talking about, taking fingerling potatoes, smashing them down. Give us that rundown too on how you're building some of those things up.
That's just kind of our take on it. There's so many breakfast burritos in San Diego, you got to kind of make them a little different, I guess. And we do, for our fried potatoes in the breakfast burrito, we actually use fingerlings and then boil them and smash them and then fry them so they get those crispy edges and are a little different than throwing a French fry or a hash brown off the shelf in them.
You're not just buying a Restaurant Depot bag of frozen hash brown pieces and cooking them up and putting them in there. You're making a burrito.
Yeah, everything we make at the restaurant scratch. So, from the sauces to our pickles on the smash burger. So we make all those in house.
You do your own pickles?
We do. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a little stuff like that just adds to it.
That's the difference maker. Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Well, a great move. And I can tell you firsthand, we've lost Cory. So, co-hosting's out for the show. That chorizo burrito is going to take it down. Hey, we're having a great time this morning. If you want to join us, having a lot of fun here on Let's Talk Hookup. Still, we'd love to hear from you. 833-288 0973 is how you reach on the fan. Jeff is standing by. Jeff, Jeff already told us he's a big fan of Social Tap, so you already know what's going down on this end, Jeff. I just wish you were here to hang and enjoy with us. We're having a great time here this morning. If you want to join us, we want to hear from you. Also, send us a text on that Let's Talk Hookup app. Some great text rolling through. And Cory, let's just jump right back into those phones.
Let's do that. And we're giving away a 1.5-day trip on the Tribute too, which is kind of cool.
That's,
super kind of you for sure, Mike. How about
some good opportunities?
I think we've got him back on hold again. Let's try him again. Jim in National City. Good morning, Jim.
Hey, good morning, guys. Mike, I've been fishing on your boat since you purchased it way back when, and the improvements you've done on that boat are just kept that boat at the top of the fleet.
Thank you.
Yeah, just awesome. But the thing that's always impressed me about the Tribute is your crew, how you hold them together pretty much year after year. And, I know you had some operations on your shoulder, your knee, and you've always had a guy take your place that's been an excellent skipper and kept that boat at the top of the fleet. You had a guy on there, Nate, I think his name, a new guy on the deck. Was it Nate or Nick? Tall, thin guy from Temecula. He's still on the boat?
We don't have a Nate or a Nick. Is he? Well, Tanner. Is he darker than average?
I'm sorry, Tanner. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tanner. That's pretty close to me.
Yes, Tanner.
That's funny.
Tanner's getting his license. A great guy. He's been with me for 3 years, and yes, that'd be Tanner.
That's awesome. The one thing you do again. You talk about all the little things that you do with that Tribute. I see it because we do the same thing. When we're looking for adding to our crew in the tackle store, like anytime Mike posts an application or, hey, we're looking for a guy, this boat runs all the time. This boat has a 401k program. Like you just offer things that a lot of other boats don't. And then in doing so, you attract a higher, there's a higher end group of people that work with you.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, Ian's been a great addition. He's been running the boat. Tanner's been there for, like I said, several years. He's getting his license. Very fishy guy. You got all of our crew. Daniel's in the galley, and you guys see the food pics, but we are. I'm very picky about how the boats ran, about how the crew acts, and it's kind of funny. You get some new guys that come from other boats, and they're like, man, that guy's really anal, and I'm like, that's how we do it. There's no option. Nobody takes off their own fish, and if you got a crew member over there and he's sitting on the other side of the boat, I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm nothing. I go, that's the problem. Why you're on the wrong side of the boat? But that's one thing. Our food and our crew are things we can keep track of, and we can handle. Fishing is fishing. The boat cleanliness. These are all things that we can take care of, and we make sure that they're done, and we keep you guys happy.
There's just not a lot of crew member jobs out there that offer benefits, and I think that's a big reason.
You'd be amazed at how few guys use it. I have to force people to use our 401k. It blows me away. Different day and age, I use it.
Yeah, it's just but again, that's why you have the level of crew that you do on that boat, and it goes a long way. And that's really cool. Hey, I had a great text come through. It says, "Good morning, guys. What a fun show. Shout out. You can tell how fishy Mike is in the Tribute by how late into the season he runs, and he's always one of the first captains kicking off the Bluefin season for us in SoCal every year. So a big thanks to Mike for getting us started. My question, what is the time of year that the fishing tends to happen on the anchor at the Tanner and Cortez? I got to participate in that last year, had a blast. Yellows in the morning, tunas in the afternoon. Do you foresee that being something in our future?
We've experienced a little bit of that this year. It's kind of come and gone. It all depends on water temp and bait out there. But I'd say late summer, fall, stuff that's going to be coming up here. And, we've been trying to dictate our trips around the best fishing. We've been doing a lot of the reverse 1.5 days. And usually as it gets later in the year, you start to see better daytime fishing, whether it's the 43, below San Clemente Island or Cortez, Tanner. But there's been so many great trips over the last few years that have just it's been October, late September, October, November. I think we talked about it last year. We had some back and forth on great bluefin fishing and some of that big yellowfin that was down 150 miles. And we had done that. We had good fishing. And then it slowed down just a little bit. And, I advertised, I said, whether it's a yellowfin or bluefin, fishing is great right now. And we had guys come down to the boat, and I told them we were going to be fishing bluefin, and we had 2 guys walk off the boat. I said, well, they said, no, we came down here to go fish yellowfin. And I said, well, what's, obviously there's a difference, but so the bluefin are the same size as the yellowfin right now. Well, yeah, but you can keep more of them. I said, nobody's catching 5 of those big yellowfin. You're not going to do it on a day and a half trip. And then we went out and we knocked the crud out of the bluefin the next morning, and I couldn't wait to post that. We had limits of 40 to 80 pound bluefin by 8 o'clock in the morning. And then we went out and did some other stuff, but it's just, and that was, I think that was November, late October, early November, somewhere in there. But when you have the option to go fish yellowfin or bluefin, and they're nice sized fish like that, I mean, it's, I think, like I said, I think we haven't got into it yet.
Yep. I agree.
It's still coming.
Do you think some of this stuff's going to creep up?
Oh yeah.
The yellowfin?
Yeah. I feel like this is June. Yeah. We've had great bluefin fishing. It's been year round. I mean, we've been catching bluefin since February. We fished them last year until December. And I think it's going to be the same way again. But you see a little bit of kelp-headed yellowtail, the water's starting to warm up. I still think we're not into our warmest water yet. And it's, I think in a month you're going to see more variety. Yeah. It's just the way it is now. I really hope it sticks that way too. Cause I mean, our season used to end in October.
Right.
When I worked on the producer in the mid 90s, if we got trips in October, that was great.
And we were lucky if it started by middle June.
Yeah, it was April through October was when you expected to fish. April was a little bit of yellowtail down by Todos Santos or whatever else it was. But yeah, it didn't really get going until June, and then it ended in October. So I mean, what a great world we live in, where your crew members are complaining about days off in February.
Right. No doubt. I had a fun text come through. It says, good morning, guys. Love the show this morning. A few weeks ago, my family and I were vacationing at the Hyatt Mission Bay. It was time to go home. We were hungry, and we stopped off at Charlie's Landing. The service and the food was outstanding. Fast and fresh. 2 adults, 3 kids, all quiet and happy and full. Keep up the great eats. Be back there soon. Cheers.
How cool is that,
awesome.
Brad?
Awesome. Love hearing that.
Got some fans for sure. Hey, Cory, the phones are packed up. Let's dive back in.
Let's do that. How about Daniel? Daniel calling from Rancho Cucamonga. Good morning, Daniel.
What's up, Daniel?
Was that my cook?
Good morning, guys.
Oh,
hey, good morning.
Good morning, Daniel.
My question is for Mike. Mike, what are your thoughts on rail rods versus slow pitching jigging rods? What do you prefer?
So the slow pitch, the jigging rods like that are just a lot lighter. They're a lot more user friendly. They're a lot faster. I'm still not the biggest fan of them when it comes to pulling on fish, because especially if you're up in the bow trying to get your rod tip out away from the boat, or trying to clear the anchor, even getting it out far enough to clear the corner is a little bit of an issue. But as far as the use, and it's not something I've done a whole lot of, but the guys that are good at it, I mean, what a game changer.
Crazy.
You got a fast reel, you got a light rod that you can pull on and, pull on a 200-pound fish with. But it's, I think when it comes down to pulling on the fish, the rail rods are just, I mean, that little bit of beef goes a long way.
You could answer this question better than anybody, but my opinion in the tackle store seems to be, if the fish are like sub 130, 140 pounds, that jigging rod is a very cool tool to have. Fish with it all night long. It's lighter, 60, 80 pounders. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
How relatively easy that fish comes to the boat. I mean, sometimes it's kind of wind them right in. Those reels are super torquey and really powerful. The gear is easy to deal with. But, and then there's the but there. When that fish is above that size, man, it's like a big truck. It's like a big motor, man. There's no replacement for displacement when it comes to big gear. Yep. Like a low gear and a rail rod is what was made for killing big fish, and
it does it perfectly.
It sure does, man. I think maybe a little bit let the size of the fish dictate the piece of gear that's in your hand, as you're adding to your arsenal, but there's a lot of guys that probably have that heavy rail rod outfit, because we've been doing this now for 10 years on the Tribute and catching these big fish. And I think that for sure that jigging outfit has a place in your arsenal, but you just got to treat it for the right situation.
Yeah. And it's, Same thing, just the reel technology. You go from, you're trying to fish like a 30 wide or something all night and a big heavy rail rod, it beats you up. Even if you're not getting bit, it beats you up.
No doubt.
If you're going over and under people in tangles, it beats you up. So being able to drop down to like a 12 or a 16 size reel, or you pick up those jigging rods and they don't weigh anything.
It's crazy.
And same thing, if you're going around people in and out of tangles, or over a 6-hour period throughout the night, it's going to be a huge difference. But like you said, if the 200 pounders are biting and you start seeing this, or you hear the captain say, hey, these are big ones, like maybe you put that one down.
Yeah.
Rick, do you see the jigging stuff like upgrading a step to be able to handle that? Or Mike, I mean, do you see
it can handle it? It's just
no, but I mean, do you see like the next evolution, the next step being like a little bit bigger jigging reel? Is that
yes and no, I guess is the right. I mean, you would be amazed at, I mean, you do know, because I know that you fished some of those, that style of reels, but the amount of power that they make is wild. The rods are designed to help move the lure. They're designed to help aid the fish. They're not designed
to kill 120 pounders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so fearful of letting some sort of cat out of the bag that I'm not supposed to. But I will hint at it yet again. A very prominent rod manufacturer who is one of our favorites.
Who may be on here next weekend.
Who since taking things over has really liked to do a lot of cool stuff. They're, again, I just don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm going to anyways. They're on their 18th revision of prototyping a rod that might be in that world.
Maybe
you know what I mean? Like
maybe next Saturday you could pull that.
And very, very cautious about doing it very right the first way. And and I'll just leave it at that. And maybe we'll let those people talk about it more if it's more appropriate. I'm probably not supposed to have said any of that kind of stuff, but I have a feeling that will be a really cool something that comes down the road.
Good thing you can't look to see who's on next week.
Yeah.
Right. So pretty safe to say, if you're a listener, next Saturday, you may just want to be tuning in.
Yeah, tune in to when the CalStar guys are on. And, those two things are completely unrelated from each other.
Or if you need insurance, wait till Christy's on here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're having a great one. So
much fun.
So I do. I mean, I see some evolution happening that way, and this will be one of the first takes when people who build rods that are really good at lifting big fish and, kind of developed the rail rod thing, put that mindset towards building a good jigging rod. Now, they certainly could have just built a lightweight rail rod and called it a day, but that's not what a jigging rod does. Right. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. And
I'm excited.
I'm proud of those guys. When I say that they're in their 18th revision, it could have been very easy to make a handful and get one close enough and call it a day. I mean, there's a lot of money and work and time. It's not wasted, but it's going into rebuilding. Okay, this isn't quite right. It needs to be a little more this way. So they could have taken advantage of this year's season and sold a lot of rods because of it, but chose not to and chose to wait until there's something perfect to put out for us. And I can't freaking wait.
And with all that being said, Rick, I mean, being a USA made, American made product made right here in Southern California. I'm just going to say it. It's badass.
Yeah,
it totally makes it that much better.
Yeah,
right. It does.
We're excited for
and not overpriced.
That's it, man.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. Hey, I had a great text come through. It says, "Good morning, guys. I would be interested in hearing Mike's opinion on picking a good anchovy. If that does indeed come around, what's your hook size? What's your line size? What's your rod and reel going to be like?" That's from Bill in San Diego.
Oh man, would we go back to like a 220 and a Speedmaster or 196.8 and a little Daiwa Sea Line 20?
Right.
You know what? If they're good anchovies, and it's we've seen a little bit of it lately, where you get a good 6, even 7-inch anchovy, just a big light green, something without a red nose on it, something that's not swimming in a corner. It's the same thing as picking a sardine. It is, and you get to a point where, and I mean, going back, it's you got your couple options, whether you're collar hooking it or nose hooking it, but it I'm sure guys up north are still seeing it. They get a lot more anchovy, but it's something that I do want to see again. I mean, who doesn't want to see albacore and big anchovies?
Hello.
Yeah. And it's same thing.
But yesterday, Grossbeck was talking about a pretty healthy amount of fish. Central, like Fort Bragg to Santa Cruz.
And that's where you come down to your, I mean, I'm pretty old fashioned when it comes to hooks, where you have your, number 4 mustad or just something, whether it's an eagle claw. It doesn't have to be, if it's a good anchovy, it'll swim the hook. But I mean, there's so much more now between owner, Gamakatsu, and everything else, where you get a light thin wire hook that weighs nothing. And probably, you're talking about an anchovy swimming that thing around for a couple of minutes. I'm sure it takes its toll on it, but it's just a different day and age of fishing. I remember the first time I saw sardines, I was working on a little charter boat called the Genie up in Port Hueneme. The captain, Dennis Evans, we went over to the bait receiver and he goes, what the hell is that? Right? I go, what? He goes, they're sardines. I go, yeah. And he goes, I don't know if rock cod will eat sardines. that was my first, and I was like 11.
Yeah, that's cool. When it does happen, whether it be in the next couple of years, whether it be 20 years from now, whenever the cycle does come back around and we're fishing with Chove again, it will. We are in the best spot in terms of rod and reel technology that we've ever been. Like you said, back in the day, you fished an SL20 or a 220 Newell or a Squitter. Yep. You didn't have a lot of choices. Now,
Jigmaster Jr.
Yeah, now with Trinidad 14s and Tranks, and I wish Pete was here to say it, so I didn't have to be the guy to say it. But spinning reel technology, like the things that we have going for us now are so much better than they were before. Guys like CalStar building new rods. It's just going to be awesome, man. I can't wait.
It is something to look forward to. It is. And this breakfast burrito I'm going to look forward to, too. Hey, we're going to be right back and let's talk. We're going to find out who's won this day-and-a-half trip on the tribute when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
The fish are biting and it's time to go. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay, or maybe in front of the shop on my kayak. It doesn't matter if you are out there on a kayak with me, on your boat, headed out on a sport boat. Dana Landing has everything you need. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day on the water because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by John, is certainly one of the best. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. These guys have the best rods and reels and the hottest lures and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle with a great stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. Check out danalanding.com for more details.
Hi, this is Captain Ray Lopez, owner-operator of the American Angler. I've spent more than half my life aboard the American Angler along with my partners Brian and Lori, developing a team that's as good as it gets. I've been fortunate to spend time on the ocean with so many fine people that I look forward to fishing with. We can't thank you enough for being part of the American Angler family, and if you haven't joined us, we love the opportunity to meet you. Text or call Lori at 619-223-5414 or check AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
Hi, my name is Chris Webb, and I'm one of the owners of Nature Fed Beef Company. We've started Nature Fed to bring families the highest quality beef that you can get in Southern California. Did you know when you buy ground beef at the store, it can contain hundreds, if not thousands, of different cows? All our cows are pasture raised and pasture finished. They roam and graze on green grass miles away from any freeways, assuring low levels of cortisol and some of the best meat quality that you can get. These animals are raised in God's country in the Klamath Basin and just outside of Corning, California. We sell our cow shares in quarters, half, and full cows. This gives you a cut from every piece of the cow, and all the meat you buy comes from the same cow. We deliver it right to your door, packaged and ready for your freezer. Let's Talk Hookup listeners can enjoy $250 off any beef order with the code Hookup. Give us a call at 619-324-3555 to order, or visit naturefedbeef.com. $250 off any beef order with the code Hookup. Visit naturefedbeef.com. kingfishercharters.com. Looking for the ultimate Alaska fishing experience and the best value in Alaska? Look no further than Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. A trip to Kingfisher includes everything you need to make your experience legendary. The finest fishing fleet in Sitka with the best captains, deluxe accommodations, gourmet food, world-class fish processing, and the best part, it's all included for one amazing price. Kingfisher is Let's Talk Hookup's most popular destination. Hundreds of listeners have experienced Kingfisher Charters, and most go back again and again. You have probably heard a lot of big promises from other Alaska lodges, only to find there were lots of hidden charges. Not Kingfisher. Everything is included. 10-hour fishing days, your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, and fishing gear. All you bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. Kingfisher Charters, your Alaska fishing destination. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Now, Mike, flip the coin, the prize coin.
All right,
this is for a day and a half
on board the Tribute.
Day and a half trip on the Tribute. Caller, I see. And the caller today is Daniel in Rancho Cucamonga.
Congratulations, Daniel. You're going to be stoked.
Tuesday night, there's a good possibility. We're sold out tomorrow. We're sold out the trip after that. We got some charters, but Tuesday night's got, I think it still has 13 spots open. Day and a half trip. Right now, there's been some good daytime fishing, so that kind of takes care of both right there.
Who do we call, Marcos?
Yeah, Seaforth Landing, 619-224-3383, seaforthlanding.com, tributesportfishing.com. And take a look at our social media, Tribute Sport Fishing, Facebook and Instagram. We got stuff up as well as part of our schedule, but we have what we've been catching here lately. And it's been some nice daytime bluefin that trip will fall perfectly in line with.
That's perfect. Well, a fantastic job, Mike. Appreciate it. Thanks for keeping us up to date, and thanks for keeping those boat reports coming too, man. We love it. Favorite part of the show.
For the burrito.
Yeah, no doubt. Brant, if somebody wants to keep in touch with Charlie's Landing, come score some great food. How do we find you?
Yeah, I mean, charlieslanding.com is probably the easiest, or just walk right across the breezeway from the tackle shop at Seaforth. We're right there.
It's like breakfast for you.
Right before you jump on the boat.
Yeah, this is good, you guys. Come take advantage. Hey, we got another couple of great shows coming for you next week. And next Saturday, Chris and John from CalStar will be joining us. And next Sunday, Christy Wheeler from Dawson Insurance. Going to be a couple of great shows. We'll look forward to seeing you then. More Let's Talk Hookup on 97.3 The Fan.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
We're not your typical sports talk show, and quite frankly, that's a good thing. You'll see what we mean when you catch Ben and Woods weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And Odyssey Sports.